football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match
Well, it's a warm welcome to this Premier League fixture between Chelsea and Southampton. Just awaiting for Martin Atkinson to blow his whistle to kick us off, which has now happened. So it's Southampton kicking off today at Stamford Bridge, playing from left to right in their usual home kit of the red and white stripes with white shorts. Chelsea in their all-blue home kit, playing from right to left. It's myself, William Maxwell, and Paul Shabakovic taking you through this one. And on paper, it looks like it should be a comfortable Chelsea win.
It should be a comfortable Chelsea win on paper, but we have seen some signs of a fight from Southampton already this season. They have had a difficult start to the season with a couple of players leaving in the summer, but certainly Ralph Hasenhüttl's side will feel as though they can cause an upset today. They can make things difficult for Chelsea, who have just hit the buffers a little bit in the last few weeks. There was that win over Aston Villa on penalties in the League Cup. That was followed by a defeat at home to Manchester City, where Chelsea were criticised for their very defensive, negative style. And then
today is quite a big day for Chelsea. They've not lost 3 consecutive games in 90 minutes since proved to be quite stern opposition in the past. With Chelsea only beating the Saints high press this from Southampton, doing well to force Chelsea back. Romeo will mop up, and now's an opportunity here with Armstrong. Another Chelsea loan at Southampton on Monday. Broha is unable to.
It has, I think. From Southampton's point of view, they don't want to sit back.
Yes, it's going to be that man, James Ward-Prowse, that will take it from this right hand. Short towards Walcott.
So Walcott should shoulder some of the blame for this, because the first time pass to Livramento really put him under pressure, gave him very little space to work with.
Yes, it wasn't the greatest return ball by Theo Walcott after it looked like it was a training ground move, with James Ward-Prowse hammering it into the former Arsenal and Everton man. This ball is put long down the right-hand side towards Lukaku, well intercepted by Jan Bednarek. And he'll go back towards Alex McCarthy. So just to run you through the lineups once again, if you did miss them, it was Mendy in goal for Chelsea, Rudiger, Silva and Azpilicueta in the back three, with Chilwell and Hudson-Odoi as the wing-back positions. Kovacic, Chalobah and Loftus-Cheek in the middle, with Werner and Lukaku up top, as Mendy just about gets away from Nathan Redmond. Very composed under pressure there, but his long ball only goes as far as Jan Bednarek. So for Southampton, it's McCarthy in goal, a back four of Livramento, Bednarek, Salisu and Walker-Peters. Walcott, Romeo, Ward-Prowse and Teller in the midfield, with Redmond and Armstrong up top, as Ruben Loftus-Cheek is dispossessed by Livramento, and then Chilwell is fouled by the retreating Theo Walcott. Advantage being played by Martin Atkinson, as Kovacic does well to find Azpilicueta on the right-hand side, looking to thread the ball through towards Timo Werner. Big opportunity. Werner's effort is well saved by McCarthy. Clearest opportunity that's been created so far, and it came up from a bit of an overload on that right-hand side.
It was an overload on the right-hand side. Lukaku was possibly waiting for a pass here from Werner, but there was too many defenders in front of Lukaku. I think it would have been quite difficult for Werner to find a pass to get the ball to his teammate. Has been knocked out for a corner though, and Chelsea now with a chance from the set piece. Yeah,
they do have plenty of physical players, and players well known for their aerial ability to aim for, although the delivery isn't great. It beats Chalobah, but Redmond is there to knock the ball out for a throw-in for Southampton, midway inside their own half. We'll be keeping up to date in all the other games in the Premier League today. The early kick-off finish: Manchester United 1, Everton 1. We've also got Burnley, Norwich, Leeds versus Watford and Wolves versus Newcastle as the other games you can listen to on our service from the 3 o'clock kickoffs. The Brighton versus Arsenal game will also be available on our service at 5:30, as Teller is unable to keep the ball in play. Be a throw-in for Chelsea on the right-hand side. Azpilicueta aiming towards Loftus-Cheek, rather easily intercepted by Theo Walcott. Redmond to Ward-Prowse, now with Romeo. Pressurised by Timo Werner, will play Armstrong in, but Armstrong can't turn and come forward. Instead, we'll go back towards Kyle Walker-Peters, and Southampton will look to hold on to possession and try and work an attack. Although, as I say that, it's a horrible ball by Jan Bednarek, straight over the top of Theo Walcott, out of play for a throw-in. And if they are going to cause Chelsea issues, they need to focus on keeping hold of the ball better, Southampton.
Can't give it away like that, because Chelsea are going to get the ball off Southampton at some point anyway. So if they're just going to make it a gift like that, Chelsea will certainly take advantage, as the Blues now clearing their lines. But you can see Thomas Tuchel already getting a bit frustrated there. He'll know that there's pressure when you're at a club like Chelsea. There's pressure if you draw and you don't play as well as you should do. So 2 defeats and potentially 3 defeats in a row. He knows that there'll be a lot of talk, particularly with the international break, a lot of time to stew over that, as Werner is robbed of it by Teller.
Yes, it wasn't a great ball by Thiago Silva. There's an opportunity here, though, for Nathan Teller. Really should have released the ball, shaped up to go for goal from around 25-30 yards out. Saw his name up in lights, but it was dispossessed by a mixture of Timo Werner and Thiago Silva. And now maybe there's an opportunity here for Chelsea to break forward with Ben Chilwell finding Callum Hudson-Odoi. One of 5 changes to the Chelsea starting lineup alongside Chilwell. Tries to find the former Leicester City fullback, but the pass is misplaced and drifts out of play for a goal kick. Not the greatest play there by Callum Hudson-Odoi. But going back to that early opportunity for Nathan Teller, did so well to break forward and away from the Chelsea defence. I think he maybe just got caught in 2 minds, because he had so many options to choose from a Southampton point of view. Then thought, OK, I've got the spaces opening up in front of me, he might go for goal. And in the end, Werner tackles back on him.
Yeah, he should have just got rid of that ball a little bit quicker there. I thought Armstrong was waiting in a good position just at the edge of the area. But little warning signs there for Chelsea that if they do sit back too deep, there will be opportunities for Southampton to try and make them pay.
As Chilwell puts the ball down the line, it's a poor ball, intercepted by Livramento. Hudson-Odoi is there to tackle back. He's appealing for a free kick, nothing given. Rudiger can't keep the ball in play, although it has gone out for a throw-in for Chelsea, which I'm not entirely sure is the correct decision, but I'm sure the linesman and referees in a better position than I am to say whether or not, as Chalobah does well to get away from Nathan Teller and Romeo, who pressed high up the field. Very composed play there by Trevor Chalobah. What is looking more and more like his breakthrough Chelsea season. Werner to Lukaku. Away from Bednarek. Azpilicueta gets a cross in. Blocked by Nathan Teller. Appealing for a handball is Cesar Azpilicueta. Nothing given, though, by the referee. It will go out of play for a corner kick. To me, it looked like Walker-Peters' arms were by his chest.
Well, let's have a look from this replay. I mean, his arm's out a little bit. I mean, it's never inside the box anyway, so it's never going to be a penalty. But arguments for a free kick there, I suppose. It could be one of those where you could say that there could have been. But this is a good opportunity now for Chelsea with this set piece.
Yes, it is. It's going to be Ben Chilwell that will take this corner kick for the Blues. It's into the centre park, it's Loftus-Cheek, it's Chalobah at the back post, and he nods home to get his second Chelsea goal of the season. It was a wonderful little flick on by Loftus-Cheek, a glancing header. Questions have to be asked, though, of the Southampton defence of why Chalobah was gifted so much space at the back post, and all he has to do is just guide his header into the bottom corner.
Far too easy this for Chelsea. The ball is whipped in from the right-hand side, nodded on there by Loftus-Cheek, and Chalobah diving from a couple of yards. The Southampton players have their hands up to say there could be an offside. Well, we'll have to see the replay, actually, because there is nobody standing on the post. Southampton have quite purposely moved everybody forward here. So when this ball is nudged by Loftus-Cheek, you could say there might be an offside. We haven't seen a sort of a replay of the action down the line, just to be sure. But it doesn't look as though VAR is checking anything. So it's whatever we thought about a potential offside, it looks like the goal is going to stand.
Yes, doesn't look like there's being any checks, and we have now kicked off after that goal, so it is going to stand. Chelsea 1, Southampton 0. The opening goal, not only of this game, but of all the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League as well. And after such a wonderful start from Southampton, they're going to be kicking themselves that they're behind in such a cheap manner.
Well, that's the first time pass from Walcott to Livramento could have been better, and the run from Teller should have been finished off with an earlier strike or a pass. Those aren't really big deals when you look at it in the scheme of things, but in this game they matter a lot now because all of a sudden Chelsea are in front and Southampton are under a lot more pressure.
Yes, as Redmond does well to find Teller, who just tries to get his boot in front of Thiago Silva, does so, but he can't direct the ball towards a Southampton teammate, and it falls kindly to Edouard Mendy as Thiago Silva's just having a brief stop to check his face. I think he may have been caught in the with the studs of Nathan Teller, I'd imagine. He looks to be okay to continue. He's still holding the side of his cheek, so it must be a sore one, whatever it is. He's not one to go down cheaply, Thiago Silva. Wonderful veteran of the game. As Mendy focuses and spreads it towards Chilwell, who will get away from Theo Walcott. Back now towards Rudiger. High press by Adam Armstrong this time. Mendy will look to go long again, aiming for Hudson-Odoi, who beats Livramento in the air, and Lukaku will hold off Bednarek and try and break forward. Finds Timo Werner. Kovacic hammers a wonderful ball out towards Azpilicueta, who plays an early ball towards Lukaku, who got a toe to it. You've got to say, good defending by Jan Bednarek to make it awkward for Romelu Lukaku there, who couldn't quite get it on goal. I think it does come off the Polish defender last for a corner kick, but yet again, wonderful build-up play by Chelsea.
It is good build-up play here from Chelsea. It's good last-ditch defending. It needed to be, really. That's the worry for Southampton, that Chelsea just quite happy to sit back, but then they do find that one killer pass, and Chelsea scored from their last corner. Some more pressure here on Southampton. Yes,
another corner kick, and it's going to be Chilwell once again that will take. Similar ball to where they scored from, and it's headed away this time by Bednarek, and Armstrong will try and utilise his pace to get away from Hudson-Odoi, but he's no slouch either. He slides in and gets a block to the ball and will divert the ball out of play for a throw-in for Southampton in line with their near right-hand side corner flag. Played around 11.5 minutes of this game so far. Listen to unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Chelsea 1, Southampton 0, the latest score. As the ball goes down the line towards Walcott, it's headed off of his chest by Rudiger, goes out of play for a throw-in. Not sure, I'm assuming it's going to go Chelsea's way. Did seem clear enough. As we see stats on our screen, there's been 3 attempts for Chelsea so far, 2 of which been on target, one, of course, ending up in the back of the net.
No effort at all from Southampton, and that's the problem for Ralph Hasenhüttl's side. That the first few minutes of this game, they did come out with some intent, had nothing to show for it really, and now Walker-Peters commits himself trying to win the ball back. It's played down quickly for Timo Werner, but you can just see that there's no cohesion in that midfield for Southampton right now because they've just not got enough time on the ball to try and build anything.
No, Salisu looks high up the field towards Nathan Redmond. Headed away, though, by Thiago Silva. You can actually see a slight cut underneath his cheek from where he's been caught by Nathan Teller.
You often see players caught in the face almost pressing their lip to hope there's going to be a blood injury, whereas here Thiago Silva doesn't need to do that. He has been caught, but say he seemed like he was okay with that. Martin Atkinson checked with him at the time. Throw on to Southampton, and 2 passes later, Chelsea are back in possession. This is just not happening for Southampton right now. They've got to try and do something to wake up that midfield.
They really do. They're not getting the rub of the green at the moment as Edouard Mendy lifts it over the top. It's intercepted by Livramento, now with Ward-Prowse to find... Yes, Ben Chilwell looking to get this ball into the air. It's another dangerous cross in, and it's Rudiger that won the header. Couldn't direct it on target, though. It sails over the crossbar, out for a goal kick. I think he just timed his header slightly too early, which meant he got all of his head underneath the ball and sent it quite some distance wide in the end. But they're still the side dominant at the moment in this one, really limiting Southampton to no real attempts at goal as we await this corner kick to be taken by Alex McCarthy. Looks like he'll shape up to put this towards the right-hand wing, intending for a mixture of Redmond and Livramento, headed away by Rudiger. Lukaku now with Salisu, done by Loftus-Cheek, who then gets away from Nathan Tella, comes flying in on the tackle. I think it's going to get brought back for a free kick. Martin Atkinson is just having a few words with, I'm not entirely sure who it's with. It never looked at Loftus-Cheek, who made that tackle on Tella. I think it must have been for an earlier infringement, maybe by a Southampton player, but we have a couple of goals to tell you about in the Premier League by looks of things. Leeds taking the lead against Watford via Diego Llorente, and Wolverhampton Wanderers have taken the lead against Newcastle by a 1-0, still awaiting on confirmation of the goal scorer there as Chalobah picks up possession, aiming towards Chilwell. Again, it's intercepted by Livramento, then Armstrong let that go for Ward-Prowse. This is a big opportunity now for Southampton. Ward-Prowse just forcing Walcott wider than he would have liked, again forced backwards by the retreating defence. Ward-Prowse finds Walcott, who gets away from Chilwell.